All right, Meredith needs answers here. She needs a second date update because she feels the first date went great. And why nothing? Not a text, nothing. Hey, Meredith.
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I've been better.
Yeah, you sound a little melancholy.
You gotta stop saying it like that. I'm gonna say it like that and mean it.
What's going on? Tell us about this date. And it obviously there's been no follow-up and you're bummed out by that.
Yeah, well, I went out with this guy and Liam 2 weeks ago, and honestly, it was a really great first date. And I'm just, like, very selective. Like, I don't really go out on very many dates, and I'm just not really interested in a lot of guys, like, especially based on, you know, the first time meeting them. I don't know, like, it has to take a lot for me to even be interested in seeing somebody. And I met Liam when I was out with a girlfriend of mine. We were going out to, like, one of her favorite bars, and I don't know, he was just different, you know? He was different than most of the guys that, like, approach me or talk to me and, like, ask me for my number. So, you know, we did exchange numbers, and we texted for a few weeks, and we finally went out on a date, and I thought it was a really great date, so I'm really surprised I haven't heard from him. But basically what was happening, too, is, like, I kind of hoped that he was going to kiss me by the end of the night, and I thought, like, finally at the last moment, we were waiting for my Uber, and I thought, okay, this is the moment. Like, of all the moments to kiss me, this is the one. And he didn't, which kind of, like, set up a red flag. Like, I obviously thought maybe something went wrong, but that I would still hear from him. So the next day, I sent him a text and was like, you know, I had a really great time. You know, it was really nice to meet you and, like, finally go out with you. And he just has said nothing.
Completely ghosted. Tavi, I saw you had a look there when he didn't kiss her.
Well, she said it was a red flag, and I'm like, if you wanted a smooch, why didn't you go in and get one yourself? Like, why is it a red flag on the man because he didn't kiss you? I mean, it's all about consent and everything these days, so why aren't girls just going and getting what they want?
Well, it just, like, clearly wasn't the right time. Like, his body language, like, he was a little standoffish, you know? And so I didn't really want to, like, force myself on him.
So at what point was there a shift? Because you thought the date went great. However, he was standoffish at the end of the night while you're waiting for your Uber. So at some point in time during the date, something had to have shifted.
Yeah, but I didn't really notice anything. Like, he was still acting like himself, and, like, we were still laughing and joking, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, we didn't seem to get closer on the date. Like,
okay. So when you guys were outside waiting on the car, you just kind of read the room and you read his body language and you thought he was going to kiss you, but then you picked up on the fact, like, no, this guy isn't going to come anywhere near me.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know. Just
well, how'd the date end? Like, how did you guys part ways?
Handshake.
Fist bump.
He gave me, like, a really, like, I don't know, kind of like a sidearm hug.
Ooh, the sidearm hug.
That's the worst.
Oh, the
man.
pain, the pain.
Ooh, I hate the
Yikes.
sidearm hug.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. You have been friend zoned.
You have 100. You're not even a friend.
I mean, like, don't you respect a guy? Because here's a dude that's ghosted you, okay? I mean, don't you respect that he didn't go in for the kiss knowing that there wasn't going to be a second date?
Well, yeah, of course. It's just odd that if the date, she thought, you know, there's three sides to every story, his, hers, and then there's something there in the middle. But she thought it went great. He obviously didn't because it ended the way it did. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't even know if I would use the word respect. I'm just more curious, like she isn't anything. What happened?
It seems like he was being polite. Like at some point he realized he just wasn't into it, but he didn't want to just come out and say that or show that. So he just was kind of polite to let the date keep going.
And we say all the time that it's one day, like who cares? He's obviously showed you he's not interested, let it go. But then sometimes you can't let it go because you're like, what did I do?
Right. You know, I got caught up in this too when I was dating. I told you guys I had never been on a date that was probably less than 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. Just because I'm a people pleaser, and even if I knew in the first 10 minutes that it wasn't going well, I can get along well enough with somebody to have a good time, even though I know it wasn't going to go anywhere. So maybe I shouldn't have done that and I just should have called the dates early, but maybe he was doing that. Like, all right, this isn't going to go anywhere, but at least I'm having some decent conversation, and then didn't feel strongly about getting romantic at the end. I don't know. All right, well, Tommy reached out to him, and he did answer us, Meredith. You are going to know why there's been no second date. This is the first email that I ever think that we got back, and as I'm looking at it, there are 8 reasons.
8?
8 reasons, if I'm reading this correctly, on why there is no second date. We've been calling it second date update for years and years and years. You go out with a dude or a woman, you think things are going absolutely great, right? And then poof, ghosted.
That's what a ghost sounds like?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it just disappears.
They usually say boo, right? Yeah.
They don't even say bye here.
Yeah.
Okay. So Meredith goes out with this dude. Meredith, tell me if I got this right before I read you his response email, because he was more than happy to tell us exactly why there's not going to be any second date. How long did you go out with this guy on this first date?
I think it wasn't a very long date. Like, we just had dinner and some drinks, so maybe it was like 2.5 hours or something.
Okay. Well, in the 2.5 hours that you guys were together, he tested you, and according to him, I think you might have failed all 8 of his mini tests.
No, we don't know that yet.
All right. I haven't read through the whole email.
He has 8 tests that he does on the dates, and she has to answer as to whether or not she failed. So she may or may not have failed all of them, but she obviously failed some of them.
Okay, let's see. So let's see how many you hit on here. Okay.
Quiz, Meredith.
Yes, only you can tell us if you did or did not pass these 8 tests.
Because your vision of what happened might be very different from his. I mean, it's not going to change anything. Dude is...
No.
You don't want to go out with this dude?
No.
And he's, I don't think, after reading some of this, is interested in a second
You
date.
are so much better off.
Yes, totally. All right, so are you ready, Meredith?
I guess.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to strap in. It's going to be a ride. We're going to make it a fun one.
Yes, Meredith and I did go out, and I did have a good time with her. Unfortunately, I did not find her to be a dateable person for me. I'd be happy to hang out with her as a friend, but as far as a relationship, she failed. Tommy writes back, what do you mean she failed? Dude says, she failed my test. Tommy says, do you have a literal test? Him. Well, I have a series of things I look for in terms of behavior on our date. I'm not saying someone has to pass everyone correctly, but at least the majority for a second date. However, not passing each of these tests is a red flag. All right, that's not that uncommon, right?
I think everybody, he's more particular and he has them written out. Whereas in your head, somebody says something or does something, you chalk it up and you're like, oh, that's a red flag. Like, doesn't tip well.
Right.
That's a red flag.
But you don't normally go into it with like 8 pieces of testing agenda.
Correct.
No. And then, do you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can see people doing that. Yeah. It's like, I know there are girls that are like, he didn't open my door. You know, when the appetizer came, he served himself like really quickly. He didn't put it on my plate. So I know there's like little red flags that women go into the date. They're like, is this man nice to his mom? Is he nice to servers? Is he nice to other people? I think people do have these things in the back of their head, but maybe not written out. Okay.
All right, Meredith. So let's see if they're little red flags like Tavi's talking about. Again, Tommy says, you literally have tests. He's like, Tommy's, what are these tests? He writes, 1, does it look like she tried too hard to look good for the date?
I tried too hard.
Wow, okay.
Oh, my God.
All right, that's just the first. He writes, I prefer my women to be natural beauties. God, do we even need to go to the next 7?
Yes, please.
If I walk in and it looks like she has spent hours getting ready, or she's has on twice as much makeup, or an outfit that was clearly chosen to get my attention, then you've lost my attention.
How dare she try to look good for
I
you?
know.
That is like the
What?
most infuriating series of words. And when people are like, you try too hard. I'm sorry I tried.
Yeah.
Aw, what a shame. I'm such an idiot for trying in the world. So I don't understand this one for multiple reasons, mostly because men are boneheads. They don't know what natural beauty looks like. We did this test.
Yep.
I showed
not true.
I
That is
showed
not
I showed
true.
30 men pictures
Yeah.
of Kristen and Cassie in different forms of makeup. And they were like, we like natural beauty. And they picked the one with false eyelashes, contouring. Y'all are idiots.
Mo, this was a test. Cassie and I took pictures without makeup, with minimal makeup, and with full makeup. Every man's like, I like my woman to be natural. And every single guy picked a photo of us with the most makeup on as the most attractive photo.
It sounded like they were boys to me.
I don't even try to say this to Tiffany anymore because she really does. She is more beautiful or as beautiful, whatever, without makeup on. And this is what I get. Pfft. Like, I don't believe you. No, you really are. Pfft. Okay.
That's the same noise the ghost made when it disappeared.
All right. Number 2. If I ask where you want to go to eat, I am expecting a response. I hate anywhere is fine. I always come up with an idea in my mind, but when a date has no idea or no ideas, that tells me she will expect me to do all the heavy lifting in a relationship.
That seems like a big...
All of that, huh?
Yeah, that seems like a big jump from, you know... And if you're asking her out, like, you should have the place in mind.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And that theory could be like totally bogus. Like she could just be wanting to be the cool, chill girl that isn't overly demanding. Like you could have given her a red flag for being like, I want to go here.
Right.
You know, but she said nothing. She wants to be cool girl. And then some people, when they reel in the guy, then they turn into control freak. Like they're just trying to be cool, chill in the beginning. And then when they get you reeled in, they turn into the control freak. So that theory doesn't always work.
Number 3, Meredith, your third flaw.
God, there's 8 of these?
Right. Yeah, we better start rattling through these. If you do have a suggestion, did you suggest somewhere pricey? If you use dates as an opportunity to try the latest pricey restaurant, then I'm going to assume you see me as nothing more than a coupon or gift certificate. I don't want to be a cheaper way for you to check off your foodie bucket list.
Oh my God.
So did he make a suggestion and you went somewhere like 5-star?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
When he asked where you want to eat, did you say anywhere is fine?
I mean, I gave him, like, I like Mexican food or Thai food, but
Okay.
I didn't say a restaurant's name.
Maybe there's a restaurant in town called Anywhere is Fine, and it's really expensive.
Well, then he's just being a
genius.
jerk.
That's a great name for a bar.
Anywhere's fine.
Anywhere's fine.
Anywhere's fine.
Did you pick up the tab? This goes along with number 3. If you don't offer to pay, then I assume you wanted a free night out.
Did you offer to pitch in or pay?
No.
Okay.
It's our first date.
Yeah, and he asked you out, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're fine. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
we're team you.
I know there are some people that really believe like it should be a 50-50 type thing, but I was not like that. Oh, this one here. This is beautiful. Number 5. Did you compliment me at all?
Aw. I tried so hard to get ready for our date, and you didn't notice.
Did you compliment me at all? If so, then you notice me and you aren't just wrapped up in yourself. So did you compliment him, Meredith?
This guy, I just don't understand. I can't try too hard, but he can, and I have to acknowledge him on it.
That is correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, precisely.
Yep,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Yeah.
Did you tell him you liked his aftershave or his flannel shirt?
I don't even, yeah, I'm sure I called him handsome or something.
Okay, compliment.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, so you didn't
Why-
fail that one.
Okay,
What
number
was that
6.
reaction?
Why is Bert
Number 6.
offended?
Number
Why are you
6.
upset?
Because number 6. Did you call me handsome? I don't like that.
No, he did
No,
not
he
say
didn't
that.
say that. He didn't say that.
You tool.
I got scared for a second.
Number 6 is, did you criticize me at all? I don't need to be with anyone who has criticism on the first date. Did you say anything that could have been defined as a criticism?
Yeah, I don't even remember, honestly, at this point. But it's like he's looking for things that he wants in the future, but then if I do anything that could be indicative of how I am in the future on the date.
Yeah, let me just go
it.
through these next 2 because this guy's trash.
Yeah.
7, did you talk about your ex? If you spend more than 60 seconds talking about an ex, this is an immediate disqualifier. That means you aren't over him. Don't waste my time, he writes. 8, Did you look at your phone more than 3 times? If so, I'm not interested in you because you clearly are not interested in me. Unless you have a family emergency, there should be no reason for you to spend time on your phone if you really care to get to know someone. So Tommy writes, so which one of these did she not pass? And he writes, several, but I'm not sure she can figure out which.
No, he said, but I'm sure she can.
Oh, I'm sure she can figure out which. No need for me to tell her. If she wants to improve her game, then maybe she should do a bit of reflection. So forget about this dude.
Here's the thing. I'm not mad at all of his like test or whatever. Because he like, obviously you don't want somebody talking about their ex or constantly looking at their phone. But the way he goes about it, oh, girl, you are so better off.
Egomaniac, this guy. You dodged a bullet, Meredith.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I think so too. Thanks, guys.
See.
The Bert Show.